Parents are requested to occupy the back seats. Parents are requested to kindly occupy the back seats.
auspicious beginning seeks blessings, let us commence the special of the Almighty.
Everyone to kindly rise for the Tamilthai Valtu.
Lighting the lamp is a timeless tradition that signifies the beginning of new hopes, new dreams, and new possibilities. As we begin this auspicious occasion, let us light the traditional Kuttuvalakku and mark the beginning of bright and meaningful journey. May I request our esteemed chief guest and other dignitaries on the dais to kindly come forward for the ceremonial lighting of Kuttuvalakku. We also request one first-year boy and a girl along with your parents to come forward for the lighting of the lamp. Thank you, respected dignitaries. Vision gives direction, leadership gives purpose, and together they create the path to progress. We are privileged to have with us our respected Vice Chairperson, Ms. Indu Murugeshan ma'am, a leader whose vision KIT. Her commitment to industry-academia partnerships, creating global exposures to students, reflects her aspiration to prepare every KIT student to explore, experiment, and excel in all their endeavors. It is now a pleasure to invite our beloved Vice Chairperson, ma'am, to welcome the gathering.
அனைவருக்கும் இனிய காலை வணக்கம். KIT கலைஞர் கருணாநிதி இன்ஸ்டிடியூட் ஆஃப் டெக்னாலஜியின் முதலாம் ஆண்டு மாணவர்களுக்கான ஓரியன்டேஷன் புரோகிராமுக்கு வருகை தந்துள்ள சிறப்பு விருந்தினர் மற்றும் தமிழகத்தின் பல்வேறு மாவட்டங்களிலிருந்து நமது KITயை நம்பிக்கையுடன் தேர்ந்தெடுத்து அனைத்து மாணவ மாணவிகளுக்கும் பெற்றோர்களுக்கும் KIT மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் அண்ட் ஃபேக்கல்டி சார்பாக எனது மனமார்ந்த நன்றிகளையும் பாராட்டுகளையும் தெரிவித்து இங்கு வருகை தந்துள்ள உங்கள் அனைவரையும் நமது கல்லூரியின் சார்பில் மகிழ்வுடன் வரவேற்கிறேன். சமுதாயத்தில் ஏற்றத்தாழ்வில்லாத கல்வி அனைவரையும் சென்றடைய வேண்டும் என்ற உயரிய நோக்கத்துடன் இக்கல்லூரியை நிறுவி உலகத்தரம் வாய்ந்த கட்டமைப்பை ஏற்படுத்தி கொடுத்து எங்களையெல்லாம் வழிநடத்தி கொண்டிருக்கும் எனது தந்தை அன்பும் கண்டிப்பும் மிக்க முன்னாள் அமைச்சர் திரு பொங்கலூர் பழனிசாமி அவர்களை அன்புடன் வரவேற்கிறேன். On this memorable event, I extend a very warm welcome to our distinguished guest, Mr. Sumit Nayak, AVP, India Head of Early Career Hiring at Cognizant. With over 2 decades of experience in talent acquisition, Mr. Sumit has played an important role in transforming early career hiring through technology, innovation, and inclusive recruitment. His expertise in identifying and building future-ready talent makes his presence especially meaningful for our students as they begin their engineering journey. Sumit sir, we are truly honored to have you with us today. When we started planning this induction program, we were eagerly waiting for your confirmation because we genuinely want you to be here as a part of this occasion. Thank you for your acceptance, sir. Despite of your very busy schedule, you have graciously made this time to be with us, and your presence means a lot to all of us at KIT. On behalf of the entire KIT family, I extend a heartfelt welcome to you, sir. Thank you for accepting our invitation and making this occasion even more special with your presence. நமது கல்லூரியின் மதிப்புக்குரிய இண்டஸ்ட்ரி அட்வைசர் ஸ்ரீராம் வாசுதேவன் அவர்களையும், CEO டாக்டர் மோகன்தாஸ் காந்தி அவர்களையும், Principal Dr. Ramasamy, Vice Principal Dr. Maithili, Dr. S. Vimal, Dean School of Computing and Emerging Technologies, Dr. Devi Priya, Director, Freshman Development and Global Engagement, Dr. R. Gauri Shankar, Dean Academics, Yogeshwaran Sir, Director, Students Relation and Development, Deans and HODs of various departments and faculty members, உங்கள் அனைவரையும் இவ்விழாவிற்கு வரவேற்பதில் பெருமகிழ்ச்சி அடைகிறேன். Dear parents, thank you for placing your trust in KIT and entrusting us with your children's future. Together, we will nurture them to become skilled professionals, responsible citizens, and confident individuals. Thank you for choosing KIT and welcome to KIT family. KIT has become one of the most sought after engineering institutions in Tamil Nadu, having achieved NAAC accreditation, NBA under Tier 1, and NIRF we are in 200 to 300 band. And India today, இப்போ சமீபத்தில் நமது கல்லூரியை ரேங்க் பண்ணியிருக்கிறாங்க. ஸோ நிறையா ரேங்கிங்ஸில் இருக்குது. I would like to highlight few. First rank in both Coimbatore and Tamil Nadu in personality development and leadership. Second in Coimbatore and 5th in Tamil Nadu for academic excellence. And career 360 A++ grade கொடுத்துருக்காங்க நம்ம கல்லூரிக்கு. நடைபெற்று கொண்டிருக்கும் TNEA கவுன்சிலிங்கில் சிறப்பான ஆவரேஜ் கட் ஆஃபை பெற்று தொடர்ந்து 6 ஆண்டுகளாக 100% அட்மிஷன் நம்ம கல்லூரி பெற்றிருக்கு. இன்னும் 3rd ரவுண்ட் ரிசல்ட்ஸ் வரல. இன்னைக்கு வரைக்கும் 98% மாணவர்கள் சேர்க்கை நடைபெற்று கொண்டிருக்கிறது. 31 ஆகஸ்டில் இந்த வருஷமும் 7வது வருஷமாக 100% அட்மிஷன் நமது கல்லூரி கண்டிப்பாக பெற்றுவிடும். In TNEA Counseling 2026, while several leading engineering colleges witnessed a decline in their average cut-off scores, KIT has secured 24th position in Tamil Nadu among 434 engineering colleges and 13th position among self-financing colleges in Tamil Nadu. This outstanding achievement establishes KIT as one of the strongest performing technical engineering institutions in Tamil Nadu, reflecting its growth in academic excellence in engineering education. இந்த சாதனைக்கு காரணமான KIT admission team, students, faculty members and alumni, parents அனைவருக்கும் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் சார்பாக எனது நன்றிகளை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். With the vision of developing our students into industry-ready engineers, KIT has established 20+ Center of Excellences, and we have signed MOU with 250 leading companies and organizations across diverse sectors. KIT has also established international collaboration with 8 foreign universities, with world ranking like Spain, Malaysia, Vietnam, and Indonesia. Recently, Center of Excellence in QNX and MITயோட chips to startup, IoT, Silicon Labs, Qualcomm has been established to equip our students to become industry-preferred engineers. Aligning with India's vision of 2030, KIT has established Green Hydrogen Incubation Center with Japanese collaboration as a contribution to sustainable development to the nation. Dear students, you're the graduating batch of 2030. Technology will change, industries will transform, and entirely new opportunities and challenges will emerge. But I believe that you should not just witness these changes, you should be the change makers. Be confident, be innovative, be adaptable. Don't simply prepare yourself for the change, you create the future. இந்த நன்னாளில் நமது கல்லூரி விழாவிற்கு வருகை தந்துள்ள உங்கள் அனைவரையும் மற்றும் ஒரு முறை வரவேற்று இங்கு வந்திருக்கும் மாணவர்கள் அனைவரும் கல்வியிலும் வாழ்க்கையிலும் வெற்றி பெற வாழ்த்தி விடைபெறுகிறேன். நன்றி, வணக்கம்.
Thank you, ma'am, for your warm words. Excellence deserves recognition, and every journey deserves to be honored. As a mark of our respect and gratitude for gracing this occasion with your presence, we would now like to honor our esteemed chief guest, Mr. Sumit Nayak sir, AVP Talent Acquisition Cognizant. May I request our respected founder chairman, Thiru Pongalur N. Palnisamy sir, to kindly honor our chief guest with a shawl. May I request our beloved Vice Chairperson, Ms. Indu Morgesan ma'am, to kindly present a bouquet as a token of our respect and appreciation. Thank you, sir and ma'am. Once again, we extend our heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed chief guest for being a part of this memorable occasion. Thank you, sir.
A visionary leader transforms possibilities into purpose and aspirations into achievements. As KIT continues its journey towards becoming the most preferred destination for quality technical education, research and industry-ready learning, our respected founder chairman, Thiru Pongalur N. Palnisamy sir, visionary, leadership and guidance remain as strong as source of inspiration and direction. It is our honor to invite our respected founder chairman sir to deliver the presidential address.
மிகப்பெரிய ஐடி நிறுவனங்களில் ஒன்றான காக்னிசன்ட் ஏறத்தாழ 3.5 லட்சம் பணியாளர்கள் அங்கே பணிபுரிகிறார்கள். மிகப்பெரிய அளவிலே அவர்கள் வருமானம் இருக்கிறார்கள். அந்த பெரிய கம்பெனியில் பகுதிக்கு தலைமை வாங்குகின்ற அதற்குரிய ஸ்மித் பயன் நமது கல்லூரியுடைய முதல்வர் புதிதாக நமது கல்லூரியில் இணைந்திருக்கின்ற டாக்டர் தேவி பிரியா அவர்களே, திரளாக வருகை தந்திருக்கின்ற மாணவ செல்வங்களே, அவர்களுடைய பெற்றோர்களே, அனைவருக்கும் எனது பணிவான வணக்கங்களை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கின்றேன். நமது கல்லூரியை நம்பி தங்களுடைய மாணவ செல்வங்களை ஒரு 15-16 ஆண்டு காலம் வளர்த்து ஆளாக்கி அவர்களை எங்களுடைய கையிலே பெற்றோர்கள் ஒப்படைத்திருக்கின்றார்கள். அந்த நிகழ்ச்சி இப்பொழுது நடைபெற்று கொண்டிருக்கிறது. மாணவ செல்வங்களுக்கு பல்வேறு கனவுகள் இருக்கும். ஒவ்வொருவருக்கும் ஒரு கனவு. இன்ஜினியர் ஆக வேண்டும், ஐஏஎஸ் ஆக வேண்டும், டாக்டராக இங்கிருந்து முடியாது. பல்வேறு துறைகளிலே பணிபுரிய வேண்டும், ஆராய்ச்சியாளராக வேண்டும், விஞ்ஞானிகளாக வேண்டும் என்றெல்லாம் கனவோடு நீங்கள் இந்த கல்லூரியிலே அடியெடுத்து வைத்திருக்கிறீர்கள். அதைவிட மேலாக உங்களுடைய பெற்றோர்கள் உங்களை ஆளாக்கி வளர்த்து இந்த நிலைக்கு கொண்டு வந்த அந்த பெற்றோர்களுக்கு பெருமை சேர்க்கின்ற வகையிலே நீங்கள் மிகச்சிறந்த அளவிலே இந்த கல்லூரியிலே படித்து மிகச்சிறந்த பல்வேறு பொறுப்புகளை அடைய வேண்டும் என்பதுதான் எங்களுடைய நோக்கம். அந்த வகையில் இந்த கல்லூரி மிகச்சிறந்த அளவிலே இன்றைக்கு தமிழ்நாட்டிலே பெயர் பெற்றிருக்கின்றது. 20 ஆண்டு காலத்தில், ஏறத்தாழ 20 ஆண்டு காலத்தில் இந்த கல்லூரி அடைந்த வளர்ச்சியை கண்ணால் பார்த்து கொண்டிருக்கின்றேன். நமது துணைத் தலைவர் இந்து அவர்கள் சொன்னது போல பல்வேறு துறைகளிலே நமது கல்லூரி மிகச்சிறந்த கல்லூரிகளில் ஒன்றாக, ஒரு 25 கல்லூரிகளில் ஒன்றாக இன்றைக்கு வளர்ந்திருப்பது மிகப்பெரிய பெருமை. 25 கல்லூரியில் ஒரு 10-15 கல்லூரிகள் அரசு கல்லூரிகள், அரசு நிதியுதவி கல்லூரிகள், ஒரு 10-15 கல்லூரிகளில் ஒன்றாக நாம் வளர்ந்திருப்பது உண்மையிலேயே மிகப்பெரிய முன்னேற்றம். அதற்கு காரணம் எதிரிலே அமர்ந்திருக்கின்ற ஆசிரியர் பெருமக்கள், மேடையில் அமர்ந்திருக்கின்ற ஆசிரியர் திறமை வாய்ந்த துறை தலைவர்கள். ஆகவே அவர்களுக்கும் அதே போல் இந்த கல்லூரியிலே பயின்று கொண்டிருக்கின்ற மாணவ செல்வங்கள் அத்தனை பேருக்கும் எனது நன்றிகளை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கின்றேன். இந்த நேரத்தில் நான் உங்களை கேட்டுக்கொள்வதெல்லாம் உங்களை சீரழிப்பதற்காக, உங்களுடைய கவனத்தை சிதறடிப்பதற்காக பல்வேறு பிரச்சனைகள் இன்றைக்கு நடந்து கொண்டிருக்கின்றன. எல்லா கல்லூரிகளிலும் நீங்கள் பார்க்கிறீர்கள். கஞ்சா பழக்கம் எல்லா இந்த கோயம்புத்தூரில் இப்போ ரைடு வந்துருக்கு. இதுவரை இல்லாத அளவுக்கு ஹாஸ்டல்லாம் கூட்டு போலீஸ் ரைடு பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. அதே போல் பல்வேறு மது பழக்கங்கள், அதையெல்லாம் விட மோசமானது இந்த செல்ஃபோன் மாதிரி இந்த நூற்றாண்டிலே கண்டுபிடிக்கப்பட்ட மிகச்சிறந்த விஞ்ஞான சாதனங்களிலே ஒன்று செல்ஃபோன். இன்றைக்கு உலகத்தில் எந்த மூலையிலும் ஒரு நொடியில் யாரிடம் வேண்டுமென்றாலும் பேசலாம். வேறு எந்த கண்டுபிடிப்பை விட எனக்கு தெரிந்த அளவிலே செல்ஃபோன் மாதிரி ஒரு கண்டுபிடிப்பு இல்லை. அதே சமயம் மரங்களை சிதறடிக்கின்ற வகையிலே அந்த செல்ஃபோனிலே பல செய்திகள் வருகிறது. நமது மாணவ செல்வங்கள் எல்லாம் அதற்கு அளவாக செல்ஃபோனை பயன்படுத்த வேண்டும். செல்ஃபோன் தான் சில பேர்களை வாழ்க்கையை சீரழித்திருக்கிறது. அதையெல்லாம் மனதிலே கொண்டு அந்த செல்ஃபோனை அளவாக பயன்படுத்த வேண்டும் என்று கேட்டுக்கொள்கின்றேன். அதைவிட மேலாக உங்களுடைய உடல் நலம் நன்றாக இருந்தால்தான் மனநலம் நன்றாக இருக்கும், மூளையும் நன்றாக வேலை செய்யும். ஒவ்வொருவரும் காலையில் எழுந்ததும் உடற்பயிற்சி செய்ய வேண்டும். குறைந்தது 1 மணி நேரமாவது. நான் 82 வயதிலும் 1 மணி நேரம் 5 மணிக்கு எழுந்திரிச்சு 6 மணி வரைக்கும் பயிற்சி செஞ்சுட்ருக்கேன். அதனால தான் உங்களோடு ஒரு உற்சாகமாக இருக்க முடிகிறது. ஆகவே நீங்களும் தொடர்ந்து உடற்பயிற்சி செய்ய வேண்டும். ஏதாவது ஒரு விளையாட்டிலே சிறந்து விளங்க வேண்டும். உங்களை மனிதன் படைத்திருப்பதெல்லாம் ஒவ்வொருவரும் ஏதாவது ஒரு சாதனையை செய்ய வேண்டும் என்பதுதான். ஒவ்வொருவருக்கும் ஒரு திறமை இருக்கிறது. ஒரு சிலர் இன்ஜினியரிங் துறையில் முன்னேறலாம், ஒரு சிலர் இஸ்ரோ போன்ற துறைகளிலே முன்னேறலாம். பல்வேறு துறைகள் இருக்கிறது. அந்த துறைகள் எல்லாம் முன்னேறுவதற்கு உங்களுக்கு ஒவ்வொருவருக்கும் ஒரு சிறந்த அறிவு இருக்கிறது. அதை சிறந்த முறையிலே பயன்படுத்த வேண்டும். விஞ்ஞானிகள்லாம் சொல்வது போல் நமது அறிவை நாம் ஒரு 5-6% தான் பயன்படுத்தி இருக்கிறோம். இன்னும் ஏராளமான கண்டுபிடிப்புகள் இந்த நாட்டிலே கண்டுபிடிக்கப்பட வேண்டும். ஏராளமான ஒரு 10% கூட மனித குலத்துக்கு தேவையான கண்டுபிடிப்புகள் இன்னும் கண்டுபிடிக்கப்படவில்லை. ஒரு கொசு ஒழிப்பதற்கு கூட ஒரு நல்ல மருந்து கிடையாது. இத்தனை விஞ்ஞானி இருக்கிறோம். ஆகவே இன்னும் ஏராளமானது. ஔவையார் சொன்னது போல கற்றது கைமண் அளவு, கல்லாதது உலகளவு என்று சொல்லியிருக்கிறார்கள். அந்த அளவுக்கு ஏராளமான கண்டுபிடிப்புகளை நாம் கண்டுபிடிக்க வேண்டும். இன்றைக்கி வெறும் பிஇ படித்து என்ஜினியராக மட்டும் செல்லாமல் ஏதாவது ஒரு துறையிலே புதிதாக ஏதாவது ஒரு கண்டுபிடிப்பை கண்டுபிடித்து இந்த நாட்டு மக்களுக்கு உதவி செய்ய வேண்டும். அது விவசாயியாக இருந்தாலும் சரி, தொழிற்சாலையாக இருந்தாலும் சரி, விண்வெளித்துறையாக இருந்தாலும் சரி, ஏதாவது ஒரு கண்டுபிடிப்பு உங்கள் மூலமாக வர வேண்டும். அதை நாங்கள் பெரிதும் விரும்புகின்றோம். அதே போல் இந்த கல்லூரியிலே வெளிநாடு சென்று படிப்பதற்கு தேவையான வசதிகளெல்லாம் செய்து கொடுக்கின்றோம். ஜெர்மன் லாங்குவேஜ் கற்றுக் கொடுக்கப்படுகிறது, ஜப்பான் லாங்குவேஜ் கற்றுக் கொடுக்கப்படுகிறது. இவற்றையெல்லாம் படித்து நீங்கள் முன்னேற வேண்டும் என்பதற்காகத்தான் பல்வேறு முயற்சிகளை நாங்கள் செய்து கொண்டு இருக்கின்றோம். அரசியலில் 2 தடவை அமைச்சர், 4 தடவை மந்திரியாக இருந்துவிட்டு போதும் என்று நானாகவே விஆர்எஸ் வாங்கி கொண்டு வந்து இந்த சேவை செய்ய விரும்புகின்றேன். ஆகவே என்னுடைய விருப்பத்தை நீங்கள் பூர்த்தி செய்கின்ற வகையிலே ஒவ்வொருவரும் மிகச்சிறந்த மாணவர்களாக வர வேண்டும். அதற்கு முழு உறுதுணையும் நாங்கள் இருப்போம். நானும் மகளும் கடுமையாக உழைத்து கொண்டு இருக்கின்றோம். இங்கே எல்லாத்தையும் விட யார் முதல்ல இருந்திருக்கிறதா போட்டி இங்கே இருக்கிறவங்களுக்கெல்லாம். அந்த அளவுக்கு மாணவ செல்வங்களை தவிர வேறு நிரப்பே யாரும் கிடையாது. ஃபஸ்ட் ரேங்க் வாங்குறாங்களா, ஹேக்கத்தானில் ஃபஸ்ட்டு வந்துருக்குதா, எத்தனை பேர் பிளேஸ்மெண்ட் ஆகியிருக்காங்க, நாளைக்கு சுமித் நாயரை பிடிச்சி ஒரு 100 பேர்த்தையாவது உள்ள தள்ளலாமா, இந்த மாதிரி நிரப்பு தான் எங்களுக்கு இருக்குது ஒழிய வேறு எந்த சிந்தனையும் கிடையாது. ஆகவே எங்களுடைய சிந்தனைகளுக்கு உருவம் கொடுக்கின்ற வகையிலே நீங்கள் உங்களை தயார்படுத்தி கொள்ள வேண்டும். உங்களுடைய வாழ்விலை முன்னேற வேண்டும். பெற்றோர்களுக்கு நீங்கள் பேருதவியாக இருக்க வேண்டும் என்று சொல்லி எனது உரையை நிறைவு செய்கிறேன். நன்றி, வணக்கம்.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring words and valuable guidance. To introduce our esteemed chief guest and share with us his remarkable journey and achievements, I now invite Karthika of second year CSE to welcome and introduce our distinguished guest.
The future belongs to those who transform knowledge into innovation and innovation into impact. As we prepare the next generation of engineers to step into a rapidly evolving professional world, the guidance and experience of distinguished leaders becomes truly invaluable. It is our privilege to have with us our esteemed chief guest, Mr. Sumit Nayak sir, AVP, Talent Acquisition and Head of Early Career Hiring at Cognizant, whose work revolves around understanding talent, nurturing young professionals and preparing them for future work. With over 19 years of experience in talent acquisition, our chief guest has built and led high-performing teams, shaped talent strategies and worked extensively in early career hiring and recruitment transformation. His career has taken him through organizations such as Infosys, Global Logic, Cognizant, giving him a broad perspective on how the world of work and the expectation from the young professionals continues to evolve. But what makes his presence especially relevant to today is his close engagement with students and early career talent. As a special tribute to our esteemed chief guest, we have prepared a short video capturing his remarkable journey and accomplishments. May I request everyone to kindly turn their attention towards the screen. Leadership begins with purpose and meaning.
Also reflected through Cognizant Technoverse 2026, a flagship student hackathon that he led and supported, creating a platform for young minds to innovate, solve real-world problems, and transform ideas into meaningful solutions. Because a true leader does more than identify future-ready talent, he helps create it. And today, as artificial intelligence and digital transformation redefine the world of work, that mission has never been more important. Mr. Sumit Naik represents a generation of leaders who understand that while technology creates possibilities, people turn those possibilities into progress. Through his experience, leadership, and commitment to emerging talent, he continues to empower young professionals to embrace challenges, think differently, innovate boldly, and create meaningful impact. And today, that experience comes to KIT. Sir, your presence enriches our campus and inspires every aspiring engineer to dream bigger, innovate further, and lead the future. Ladies and gentlemen, it is our immense privilege and honor to extend a proud and enthusiastic KIT welcome to our distinguished guest, Mr. Sumit Naik. Welcome to KIT, sir.
Thank you. It is now our great honor and pleasure to invite our esteemed chief guest, Mr. Sumit Naik sir, to address the gathering and share his valuable thoughts, experiences, and insights to our students. We welcome you, sir.
Vanakkam, KIT. How are you all doing today? Before I start anything, I would like to thank Founder Chairman, sir, Vice Chairman, ma'am, Indu ma'am, the principal, the dean, distinguished faculties, the CEO, students, parents, and other distinguished guests. Thank you for having me here. I'm really honored, and what tipped the scale was the AI AV that we just saw. Some of which for real, some of which AI generated in an AI generated world, right? I'd like to start with a full disclosure before I say anything else. I'm not from Coimbatore, not from your city. And while I try to, I don't understand the language completely well till now. So during the course of the next 15-20 minutes of my monologue, should you find me mispronouncing a couple of words, then bear with me, and that's a cue to laugh and make it loud. Don't judge me though. Yesterday evening at about 8:30-ish is when I landed in Coimbatore, and I had Dr. Vimal uh, get me to my hotel. On my way, even though it was late in the evening, I noticed a couple of things. If you were to look at Coimbatore as a city, it comes across a city with its very own quiet confidence. When I say that, I mean it in a very good way. And that is the confidence that I would expect from each one of you students present here. And there's a good reason for that. If you were to look at the world that you're about to enter into, that's a world that does not reward noise. Rather, it rewards people, students, and professionals who are able to cut through that noise and quietly work towards a shared goal. And that is exactly what my next 15 minutes of the monologue is going to be. And for all the parents sitting behind, Wango Ammappa, thank you for taking out time from your busy schedules to attend this event, and more importantly, to listen to what the next 4 years of your ward is going to be from a stranger like me. Yes? Now, let's talk about or deliberate a little bit more on the world that you're going to enter into, right? And I would not pretend to know exactly how the careers of your wards are going to shape up in the year 2030. That's the year when they graduate, yes? And it's not only me, but everyone else in the room, starting from the faculties to business leaders to professionals who are all present here. None of them can really figure out what 2030 might look like. And I'll give you an example for that. Most of us in this room would be carrying mobile phones, tablets, yes? You'll be amazed to realize that the technology on which these smart gadgets have been built are probably younger than the career spans of many of the professors who sit across in this room. Another example would be AI. That's the buzzword, right? If you were to look at what the capabilities are, today I could have AI draft me an email. It could help me analyze data across several spreadsheets. It could help me create a AV video. It could help me prepare for a speech. It could help me with multiple things. And all of this technology did not exist about 5 years back. The jobs that me and my team hire for today did not exist 5 years back. And all the jobs which were almost like bulletproof in terms of a career trajectory 5 years back are either redundant today or are getting redesigned as I speak in this room, right? So if anyone tells you that go ahead, get this degree and your life is set, I'm sorry to say that world left us behind probably 5 to 10 years back. That world does not exist. Rather, what you would see is a differentiated offering that businesses have today, right? And I'm not saying this to scare the newbies who've joined first year, and give you a sense of false comfort. Rather, what I'd want to do is share something a little more useful and probably give you a view of what the real game is. And the game is this: the pace at which technology is advancing today and the changes in the technology landscape, it is but impossible for any syllabus to play catch up. Because if I have to look at the lifespan of any technology today, it is roughly about 18 months, right? So if you can't catch up with technology, question is, who would the winners be? Winners would essentially be people who turn from memorizing texts on a syllabus that a syllabus offers to being lifelong learners. And winners are essentially going to be those kind of people who are unabashed, can walk into a room, look at a problem and say, no, I do not know what the solution is. However, I'm willing to work on it and come up with a solve, say, by tomorrow. That is the attitude that would define a winner today, right? And that is no longer a soft skill. That is the skill that would define your career trajectory. Now let's talk about what it would be for the next 4 years. I'm sure all of y'all have dreams, aspirations, bucket lists of what you would do, what you won't do, who you'd mingle with, how you would network, all of that planned, correct? But I'm here to break that down for you, not in a bad way, but to give you a glimpse of what the 4 years would look like. And this is also for the parents. The first year would be the year of the great disorientation. Parents sitting behind, very likely in the first 3 months of your ward taking up the engineering course, you would get multiple calls in the mornings, in the afternoons, in the evenings, all with one complaint. Either your ward is not sure if he or she took up the right course, or it would be the fact of he or she complaining that the person sitting next to him probably knows about a technology that he or she has not heard about, or it would be about how he or she does not understand what is being taught in class, or they are too fast, they are too slow. But I assure you, all of that is absolutely normal. That's a part and parcel of how they go into the academic world. And here, in the first year, the professors, teachers are not looking at the smartest person in the room. No, they're not. What they're looking at is how your wards can take up learning without being spoon-fed. And that is the shift that I'm talking about. The second year is something that I call as a quiet folk on the road. By year 2, distinctly each batch would have 2 categories of people. The first category, who are silently prepping for things that they have not been asked to prep on. For example, working on small projects which they have not been asked to do, trying to understand a construct or a concept better, even though that's not a part of the course curriculum, trying to work on mini projects, breaking codes, breaking products only to understand what goes in the inside workings of the product service, right? And then there would be the second category of students who are essentially trying to play catch up, where their whole effort and focus is to get past that 1 year into the next year, get enough marks so that he or she could move into the next year. And mind you, this is not something that gets decided by the students right from day one. It does not happen that ways. It is only at the end of the 4th year, when you sit across someone like me, does it dawn upon the wards that probably they missed the bus. Yes? Now the third year would essentially be more about you than it's going to be about the college. For the first 2 years, you're sailing on the high tide of what the college has to offer. Everyone who you speak with would essentially be asking you, which college did you join? How did you get there? I'm sure it must be tough. How's the campus? How's the faculty? All of that, yes? The third year is when the same set of people would be asking you, what did you build? What did you do in terms of a research paper? What did you do for your last project? What are the kind of choices that you made as a student on that project? What was your contribution? So the focus you will see would shift from college to what you are made of, right? And I don't like to say this, but that becomes a wake-up call for many of the students here, and anywhere else, rather. The 4th year would be campus season, as we all know. And I would visualize campus season as a door, which we think is open for us to get in. And in many such cases, we think the door to be wide, but it's actually narrower than what it looks like. And people who get through that door are essentially who have been quietly, persistently, consistently preparing from year 1 to year 3, not the people who wake up on a year 4 to say that let me prep for this company. I'll probably make it through, right? So I urge each one of y'all to give in some thought to this. While I know that by saying all this, I am at the expense of sounding a little preachy, but that's not the idea. The idea is to just give you a view of what you're going to come through, or what comes next in your academia journey. Now that I've told you what the next 4 years would look like, let me start talking about a little on what actually gets you hired, and some of it I've already discussed in the last 5 minutes. First would be curiosity. Curiosity to find out solves of what you don't know. Second would be what a comfort level would be in saying that, no, I do not know. I do not have a solution, but I will try. I will try and see what the different ways and means are at my disposal, which I could use to get there, right? The third, and this is probably my favorite part, is communication skills. Very often, and I've seen this across multiple thousands of people that I have interviewed in the past, laterals, freshers, at executive levels as well. And you'll be amazed to know that when I start deliberating with them in terms of what did they work on, what was the project about, many of them falter. Not that they don't know, they definitely know what they've done, but they're not able to articulate. And when I say they're not able to articulate, what I mean is the art of storytelling becomes extremely important in the corporate world. And many of y'all, 4 years later, when y'all join corporates, that is going to be your biggest challenge. How are you fluently able to have a conversation with the layman and explain to him or her your project and move effortlessly from your server room to the boardroom? How do you traverse that landscape? That is going to be a defining factor for you, right? Now, if you were to look at your entry-level jobs, and this I say uh, with a lot of conviction because there's a lot of it that we at Cognizant are currently taking up, right? So there has been a paradigm shift on what a fresher level job was. Erstwhile, probably 5-6 years back, if I had to look at rating a fresher who is in year one in a corporate job, I would look at 2-3 things, right? One is how quickly the person could create a working code, or how many lines of working code the person could create. And second would be how fewer bugs are probably captured during this course of writing the code. And third would be how the person is able to translate it into a measurable outcome, yes? But all of that, if you were to look at it, is now being assisted by AI or an agent. So your future would not only be you working, but you working in collaboration with a set of agents which work probably at a pace which is far higher than what you are currently working at. Then what does that leave you with, and what happens to the fresher level job? Our expectation here is that automatically, from day zero of you joining an organization, you would start playing a higher order role. When I say a higher order role, what I mean is what we would be then looking for in a student is not only his or her ability to code, but how the person is able to collaborate with agents to produce the same output, point one. And point two is the ability of the person to validate the output that is given out by an agent. You should know, or you should be able to decipher which output is right and which is wrong, which is the problem that is worth spending your time on and which is not, and how do you go ahead and work towards those workflows. Now that is going to be imperative, and that is how the future level job would change, right? Now coming to how exactly do you prepare? How do you prepare? I've told you what I'm looking at. Also already told you what the 4 years would look like. I've already given you both the red flags and the green flags, right? Now, how do you prepare? My 2 cents around this is, for the next 4 years, every year, cautiously pick up on one subject that you would want to create a difference in. When I say that, it could be a small working project for all I care, where you're invested and you do it right from scratch till the execution point of it. And that, in my view, is better than any polished resume with a scorecard of 90s. Because once you step your foot into an organization, your mark sheet becomes the doormat. No one really cares if you got a 99% or 100%. What they would want to know is, what did you learn? And how are you implementing whatever you've learned in the practical world? Second is, most of the institutions, specifically KIT, has a great database of alumni who are spread across the globe, if you will, working on different parts, on different sectors, different technologies, and that should be your gold mine. Ensure that you keep in touch with your seniors, because your seniors essentially would not only help you get better opportunities, but would also be able to give you a first-hand view of what to prep for, right? Because they have been here right before you were and know exactly what the strengths, weaknesses are, and how you need to traverse that. Be mindful of that. Third, for an institution like KIT, which provides you all the resources that a student might need to become completely successful, I would want you to experiment as much as you want. Experiment while in campus. It's completely okay to falter. It is completely okay to not come up with, or probably to come up with a code that does not run. It is completely okay to re-look at a concept from your lens. All of that is good, but this is the best place where you could fail because you have the support of your very able professors and assistant professors and teachers. Ensure you do that. And the last bit is, if you were to look at technology, every other day there's a new set of skills that are coming up in the market, and there's a new set of technologies, new set of workflows that come in, right? And it is important that you use those tools and skills that are available to you to advance further. When I say advance further, I mean go faster, be able to take inferences from it, but not at the expense of your fundamentals. Do not skip your fundamentals for a tool which helps you with an answer. Ensure that you have your fundamentals right. Because end of the day, all of these tools, technologies, whatever, all of them, they sit on a basic set of skills, which is critical thinking, logical reasoning, aptitude, and your base layer of programming language, if you will. Ensure that you have that in place. Now I'd want to take a minute to talk to the parents sitting at the back. And this I say with all my conviction there is in every fiber of my body. See, if I have to look at my last 23 years into recruiting, one thing I've known, the best students who come in for a job and get selected are the ones who their parents allowed to stumble. When I say that, what I mean is, over the next 4 years, you would come across your ward taking or making choices with respect to the additional elective. It could be based on the value-added course. It could be based on the additional tuition on a certain subject, right? And they not wanting to take it, rather be part of, say, a book club or a drone club or whatever you will. Allow them to make that choice. Give them that freedom to take or make a choice which they think is more aligned to their career trajectory. Then what happens is they know that one, the choice is theirs to make, both good and bad, right? So here you're not telling them that go ahead and take up this course. You're telling them do what you will as long as you're learning. And there the conversation changes for you from asking your ward how much did he or she score to what did they learn. Because learning is going to be constant for the rest of their lives, which they embark on today. Right? I'd like to close with just giving a quick view of whatever I spoke of in the last 10 minutes. And the moot point is this: the world isn't waiting for anyone to finish the syllabus. And what they're looking at is learning, which is continuous learning, right? And I'll leave you with this quote from Brian Herbert, where he says, the capacity to learn is a gift. The ability to learn is a skill. And the willingness to learn is a choice. So make the right choice, guys. Rumbo Nandri. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring words and valuable guidance. Now, we move on to one of the most engaging segments of today's program, the interaction session with our esteemed chief guest. To our dear students, this is a wonderful opportunity for our students to interact directly with an industry leader and learn more real-world corporate experience. So this is your moment to ask questions and make the most of this opportunity. The interested students can start by asking your questions.
Good morning, sir. My name is R. Niranjana, and I'm a student from the Department of CSE Cyber Security. So what should a student achieve by the end of each year of engineering?
Okay, thanks for the question, Nilanjana. And I'll probably try and break it down for you. For each student, the priorities and aspirations cannot be straitjacketed. So I'm not here to give you a silver bullet which would tell you that this is what you should achieve by year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, which would help you climb the ladder of success. Yes? Rather, what I would suggest is, based on your interest and aspiration and the course, which is aligned to the course that you've taken, please ensure that you put in work where you're prepping based on what you've learned. Put it into practical usage year on year without thinking of what that might get you. And that, I think, should be homework enough to get you where you want to be. Yes?
Thank you, sir.
Sure.
Sir, does learning of foreign languages advantageous for engineering students? Learning of foreign languages.
Of course, yes. As a matter of fact, if I'm only talking about Cognizant, I'm sure the other organizations do the same. We do hire a lot many people every year on languages like Japanese, German, and a couple of others. Given the fact that if you were to look at Japanese language for that matter, I'll tell you why as well, right? If you were to look at the economy of Japan, it's an aging economy. Where do you find the biggest powerhouse, or which is the biggest powerhouse of young talent, which would be able to drive an economy towards success? That's India. And your ability to learn a foreign language will always be an additional feather in your cap, apart from knowing whatever your syllabus teaches you. Yeah?
Good morning, sir. How important are communications and soft skills developed in the technical knowledge, sir?
What is the question?
How important are the communication and the knowledge important in the communication of?
Okay. So, in my personal view, communication skills are the most underrated skills in today's world. I say this because, end of the day, irrespective of whichever organization you work in, 50 to 60% of your time would only be in communicating what you're trying to achieve, right? Through the project that you do. I'm sorry, just give me one quick minute.
With great privilege and honor, we would like to welcome our next chief guest, Brigadier Krishnendu Das sir, for the first year orientation program. As a mark of our respect and gratitude for gracing this occasion with your presence, we would like to honor our esteemed chief guest, Brigadier Mr. Krishnendu Das sir, Commandant, the Madras Regimental Center, Wellington. May I request our respected founder chairperson, Thiru
Pongalurian Palanisamy sir to kindly honor our chief guest with a shawl. May I request our beloved Vice Chairperson, Ms. Indu Murugesan ma'am, to kindly present a bouquet as a token of our respect and appreciation. Now, we request our esteemed chief guest to honor our founder, chairman and vice chairperson ma'am with a memento. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. And once again, we extend our heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed chief guest for being a part of this memorable occasion.
Students will resume our interaction session. So those who are interested can ask your questions now.
So, here. I'm Sudarshana from AIML department. You said practical skills are important. So, what is the best way to start in that aspect?
How do you gain practical skills?
Sir?
No one can teach you that. So you have theory around, say, coding, right? I'll give you an example of what my son does. So there's this game called as Minecraft. All of you are aware of it?
Heard about
Yes?
it.
So there are different stages to that, right?
Yeah.
And you can build, destroy, and fight zombies or whatever you call them, right? Pillagers, yes? They call pillagers, yeah. So to advance on the game, there is a sandbox that it allows. What he does is, without knowing that he is actually coding on Python, he is actually vibe coding the entire environment where he is giving it logic. Because for you to code, what's the biggest challenge that most face? What is the logic that you're going to use, right?
Yes, sir.
So he gives in the logic and ties it together. Similarly, when you read or learn a concept, it is important for you to use that learning onto a sandbox. That is the best way to learn. Once you start demonstrating that, then your understanding becomes a lot more clearer than what it is today. Yes?
Thank you.
Sure.
Hi sir, I'm Afshin from CSE department. Sir, what would you recommend we learn today that will still be valuable for 4 years from now?
What do you expect to learn today?
Repeat.
What will you recommend that we learn today that will still be valuable for 4 years from now?
What we want to learn today that we take for 4 years.
Okay. So if you heard what I said on the technology landscape, the shelf life of any new technology intervention lasts about 18 months. That's all. So if you were to ask me, which is that one technical skill that you should build, which would last you at the end of 4 years, I would not have an answer. Rather, what I'd suggest you do is hone up critical thinking, logical reasoning, and have one base skill. Could be a Java, could be a C++, could be a .NET, right? If it is on the technical skills, right? Have the fundamentals clear. Everything else could be added on top of that. If you were to look at AI, what is AI doing? It is not creating a different skill set. What's helping us do is redesign the workflows. How are the fresher level jobs changing in dimension? They're only changing is because there's a better way to do it, a faster, quicker, more efficient way to do it. That you'll be able to do only if you have a fundamentals, that is the base layer of your learning intact. Yeah?
Morning, sir. I'm Venmati from CSE department. What skills should we start developing, and what certification program should we consider to build a strong resume from the beginning?
I think I've already answered this question some time back. Don't look at it being specific to a particular tech stack. Get your fundamentals in place. Do not look at investing only on a particular skill, because the new age jobs that come in would require two aspects from you. One is your technical depth. Along with it, you would need to have a breadth in terms of the domain. So it's a T shape, right? The horizontal is essentially your breadth in the domain, while the vertical is your technology aspect. So ensure you have both of them work side by side. It cannot be specific to only one skill that works as a silver bullet. Yes?
Good morning, sir. I'm Pooja from CSE, sir. So
I
what
can't
do you
see you.
think the first mistake that first year students can't do in the college life, sir? The one mistake the students can never do. What do you think, sir?
I'm sorry.
One mistake that students never do.
One mistake that students never do
Never
or
do.
always do?
Always do.
Always do or never do in the college life, sir?
Okay. I've been a student myself. I can only talk about myself. I cannot talk about what they do nowadays. But at least 30 years back, when I entered college, I thought I had already arrived in life, because I was able to crack the entrance and I got into a good college. So I thought that majority of my work is already done, because I am there, arrived in a good college, right? Which was probably ranked 5th in India and all of that. Only to realize a year later that I did not learn anything. I was essentially happy with my past laurels. Said, I have done this. I had got a 70, 80 or 90 in economics, hence I got here. So don't let that happen to you. Right from day one, ensure that you're prepping. Every year, you should have at least one standout achievement. It could be something that you created on your own, be it a concept, a POC, a program, a working program, whatever that is that you aspiring to work towards. Because end of the 4 years, when you're sitting across a recruiter like me, I would not want to learn from you as to how much you got or scored in marks across the different semesters. What I would want to know is, what did you do with what you learned? Is there any measurable outcome to that? And that is what's going to differentiate you from the rest of the herd. Yes?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, hello, sir. I'm
Yeah.
Nitya Pooja from CSBS department. I want to become a person like you in the future. So, how I have to prepare to become like you?
Don't idolize me at all. There are many who are much better than me. Be yourself. You'll do a lot better, I can assure you that.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I'm Sai Namika from CSBS department. What did the company expect from freshers beyond their academic qualifications?
I'm sure many of you all did not hear what I spoke about in that 20-minute monologue, no? Very boring?
What does company expect from freshers beyond their academic qualifications?
First of all, your academic qualification just gets your foot on the door in terms of gives you a pass to be evaluated by an organization, because most of them would have a eligibility criteria is, right? So that criteria would allow you to take up an assessment or take up an interview. What happens in the interview is a different world altogether, where what I'm trying to look at from the person is how the person is able to articulate whatever he's learned and put it into practice. How do you, for example, work in an ambiguous situation? How do you respond? What is that response time? And how do you act in a room full of people when you don't know the answer to something? Do you go back into a shell? Or do you come out unabashed saying that I do not know, but I will figure out what needs to be done and get back to you within a timeline? So that is what we look at from freshers.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I am from M. Muhammad Arif, CSBS department. You say improve skills or subjects.
Can't hear you.
Sir, you say find your interested subjects or skills and improve that subjects entire. How to find interested subjects and skills?
How to find interest on a subject or skill?
Yes, sir.
I can't tell you that. That is internal to you.
That you have to create.
You have to create that interest, right? How will I tell you? If I didn't like math, would I ask you, what do I do to like math? Get the point?
Yes, sir, how I find interested in
Read.
one subject.
See, an overload of information that we have in today's world works both in a positive and a negative way, right? Given that you have so much of interest, it depends on an individual choice. That's what I told you at my last sentence from Brian Herbert was, your willingness to learn is a choice. That choice only the individual makes. I cannot make that choice for you, but I can direct you towards the material that is there available to all for consumption, right? If you were to look at it today, on your smartphones itself, you could learn so many things. You don't need to be there in a proctored environment to learn. You learn from the people sitting next to you, from your colleagues, from your professors and teachers, and from the environment, the city around you. So there's so many ways to learn. What you need to is to have that zeal to learn. If you have the zeal to learn, you will learn. You don't need a platform for it. Yeah?
Sir, sir, here. You okay? Sir, I'm Navyashi from CSC department. What were the basic skills we need while we enter into a new academic life?
Your willingness to learn,
Yes, sir.
curiosity,
Yes.
and being open to take feedback. Because that's the time when most of your assumptions about what you know get challenged. You come in, for example, you would have scored a 90+ percentage and you would have gotten in here thinking that you know it all. But right from day one, your professor will tell you that what you know is just tip of the iceberg and there's so much more to learn. Starting from your fundamentals to your concepts to your overall understanding of the subject as a whole. Yes?
Thank you, sir, for sharing your valuable insight to our freshers. Dear students, with this we'll wind up the interaction session. You will be given yet another opportunities. Chief guest will be visiting our campus again, so you'll be given opportunities later. Thank you.
Leadership is built on discipline, strengthened by courage, and defined by service. To introduce our esteemed chief guest and share with us his remarkable journey and achievements, I would now like to invite Raksha Bhatia of second year VLSI department to welcome and introduce our distinguished chief guest.
True leadership is reflected not only in achievements but in the ability to inspire others. It is a great privilege to welcome our esteemed chief guest, Brigadier Krishnendu Das, Commandant of the Madras Regimental Center. Our chief guest is an alumnus of the prestigious Indian Military Academy, Dehradun. After completing his graduation from Sardar Patel College, Secunderabad, he was commissioned as a second lieutenant in the 10th Battalion, the Madras Regiment. With an illustrious army career spanning 30 years, he has served in various operational areas across the country, including Jammu and Kashmir, the Northeast, Leh Ladakh, and Arunachal Pradesh. He has also served as a military observer with the United Nations Mission in Sudan and as an instructor at the Officer Training Academy, Chennai, and the College of Defense Management. His distinguished service has earned him the COSC Commendation Card for his contribution to a project on enhancing operational logistics infrastructure in the Indian Army. Since November 2024, he has been serving as the commandant of the Madras Regimental Center, one of the prestigious institutions of the Indian Army, and stands approved for the next higher rank of Major General. His remarkable journey of service, leadership, and dedication truly makes his presence an inspiration to all of us. And now, with great honor, I invite our esteemed chief guest, Brigadier Krishnendu Das sir, to address the gathering and share his valuable thoughts and experiences with us.
Thiru N. Palaniswamy, the founder chairman of KIT, Ms. Indu Murugesan, the vice chairperson, Dr. Mohandas Gandhi, the CEO, Dr. K. Ramaswamy, the principal, Mr. Sumit Naik, AVP Talent Acquisition Cognizant, Dr. R. Maithili, vice president, deans, faculty, students, and parents. I consider it a singular honor that I've been invited here to speak to you all. Honestly, I didn't expect such a large audience to be present here, but it is a pleasant surprise. And once again, thanks to the school authority, the college authorities, to have invited me for this occasion. The KIT and the Madras Regiment have a unique association which started in the year 2015 and is going on for the last 10 years, wherein 192 of the wards of Madras Regiment soldiers have got admissions into the college by the complete initiative of the KIT management. So I'm thankful for that, sir. Really, really grateful that so many of our children are benefiting from this initiative of yours. We want this initiative to continue and to get stronger with the years to come, and I'm confident that it will continue and continue to benefit so many of our children. Today I have chosen to speak on three things which I thought is relevant to the young generation, the young children, young students who are present here. The first thing that I thought I would speak on would be the role of Gen Z in nation building. The second thing that I would tell you about is the Madras Regiment and what it is all about. There will be several queries that you have. I would try and answer all of them. Finally, I'll also cover a few slides on how do you join the armed forces, if you wish to join the armed forces, if you ever have this thought crossing your mind, then what are the entry schemes, what are the ways by which you can opt for the armed forces. So I see a large number of girls also here, and I must tell you the armed forces have opened their doors to the girls as well. The ladies can also now join the armed forces, so you can give it a thought. Now, coming to the first thing that I would cover today is the Gen Z and its role in nation building. Can I have the next slide, please? So, since I'm very happy to see a very interactive audience and a lot of good queries, good questions coming up, can we have somebody speaking on or telling me what is India's population by generation and where does Gen Z stand in this picture? So first tell me, what is the population of India today? Where does India stand? The most populous country in the world, even ahead of China on this aspect. Give me a rough guess, rough idea. Nobody knows? 1.46 billion is what the population of India stands. We are head and shoulders ahead of any other country in the world. So we have a very large population. Merits, demerits, there are both aspects to it. But one very good advantage of having a large population is a population dividend. So let's understand what population dividend is. Let me first see, next slide please. So this is what the Gen Z is, which I think the majority of the audience present here constitutes of this generation. So if you look at the picture to your left and to my right, is the population, how it has been distributed. So all of you who are born between 1997 and 2012 constitute the Gen Z. Are you all part of this generation? Are you all part of this generation? Okay. So now this constitutes 34 crore of 1.46 billion population of India, which is 23% of India's population. So they are entrepreneurs, they are creators, they are people who are the largest generational block in India, and they have a promise to keep towards nation building. They're also called the Zoomers. So here at the bottom you see 1.46 crore population, and 24% are the Gen Y. I'm even older. I come from the segment which is called the Gen X. So Gen Z today is 34 crores, 23% of the nation's population. Next, please. So what does Gen Z constitute? What does Gen Z known for, what defines or what describes the Gen Z. It is a generation which has got digital fluency. It is not a learned skill, it comes naturally to you. They're entrepreneurial, the enterprise comes to them naturally. They are looking at doing new things, exploring new ideas, exploring new fields. They are value driven. So they are a generation, they're not actually very impressed with the traditional markers of status. They are driven by fairness, authenticity, and they are purpose driven. They're also globally connected, but they are locally rooted. So today's world, you can be wherever you are, but you can connect to the globe, connect to the world, but they are mainly locally rooted. They want to stay connected with their community and look at indigenous ways of doing things. Next, please. So what is a population dividend? I'm sure somebody would have heard about it in the passing. Can anyone make a guess? What is a population dividend? Has anybody thought of this thing or anybody heard of this thing? And if you have heard of population dividend, how does it benefit a country? How does it build a nation? Any idea, anyone? No one? Okay. Next, please. So the United Nations Population Fund, it defines the population dividend as the economic growth potential of a country when a large population is young and the population has lesser dependence in terms of old people and younger generation, that is children. So between the childhood and the age of 64, when you're supposed to be retired and resting, so if a large part of your population is in this age category, then the country benefits by this population dividend. Now, how are we benefiting from this? The next slide would show you this. So if you look at this slide, onto the leftmost is India, where the median age is just 28. Whereas if you see the major economies of the world are all aging. Case in point is Japan, case in point is Europe, case in point is many other economies who are struggling because their populations are graying, their populations are older. So this one benefit plays to our advantage, that we have a large population, that is 65% of the population, which is between 15 to 64 years of age. So does it continue like this for a year and on? No, it is a temporary phase, it is temporal. It doesn't continue forever. So this is the window of opportunity that we need to exploit. This is the time that we need to leverage the population dividend, the youth dividend that has come to us, and make our nation great. So this particular population consists of your population, which has a very important role in nation building. Next, please. So when we talk about nation building, why is a man in uniform talking to you about nation building? Because we in the armed forces as well has experienced the youth, how their mindsets are, what motivates them, what drives them, what is their thought process. So we train them and we utilize or we leverage their expertise towards the greater benefit of the organization. So we are training them, we are living with them on a day-to-day basis, and we find that there is a great promise in this generation which can be channelized towards the overall upbringing of the organization or the overall evolution of the organization. So you had the generation which gave us freedom, we had a generation which were nation builders, and we have a generation who have carried out reforms. Now it is up to you, your generation, to take on the ownership, the responsibility of nation building. Next, please. Now, is having a population dividend good enough? Is it just a thing which is there, or the nation needs to do more about it? Next. So, no, go back, yeah. So if you have a youth population, if you have a population who are in the most productive age, a population which can contribute to nation building, is that good enough? No, it is not. So what is required is skilling and giving them quality education, helping them getting meaningful employment, and developing them into purposeful leadership. So where the nation's governance, nation's systems, they work towards these three, only then can we leverage the youth dividend or the population dividend that is there with us today. Next, please. Now the leadership roles and the fields which are open to you today. I put the armed forces as first, but there are many more fields. Since I come from the armed forces, so a little bit of bias is accepted. But today you have much more opportunities, many more fields to explore as compared to my generation, where the options were to become a doctor, engineer, or an administrative officer, or maybe the armed forces. But today, the entrepreneurship, the fields that are available are many more. The opportunities available are tremendous. The choices available with you are many, many times, manifold increased as compared to Zen X or Zen Y. Next, please. So the anatomy of leadership. What all do you think are the important aspects of leadership? What do you think is the most important things that a leader should have? I expect some answers from you this time. Anybody can stand up and speak, please. What is the most important things about leaderships? What do you think a leader should have? Do not hesitate. Don't get overawed by the uniformed man. You can speak. You open your hearts and speak. Okay, I'll go ahead if there are no speakers. First, please. Next, please. The most important part is ethics. Be it any field, be it corporate, be it the armed forces, be it any other profession, the most important thing that a leader should have is ethics. Ethics comes from your beliefs, and without ethics, you will not have the right intent, whichever role is given to you. Next, please. So I said the ethics are non-negotiable, and from the ethics comes your right intent. And then the second most important thing, as per my understanding, is the competence. So you need to develop competence in the fields that you have chosen to follow. So ethics, the connecting bridge, is the right intent, and mere right intent will not be adequate. You need to have the competence to take the job forward, lead your group, lead your team. Next. You also need to have the ability to follow. So to lead properly, you need to be a good follower first. You need to listen up. You need to see how your leader is teaching you new things. You need to learn every day on a daily basis. You should make a note of everything that you're learning. What are the new aspects? What are the things which are going to hold you in good stead in the future? So you need to be a good follower before you take up a leadership role. Next. And finally, the ability to inspire people to follow you. So the man management in the armed forces is totally different, but if you are in any other field, the ability to inspire people and get their willing support is what will be most important. Even in the armed forces, it is important, but in any other profession, any other role that you choose, getting the willing support of your subordinates will become most important. And that is a factor of all the other three things that I spoke about earlier. Next, please. Okay, coming to two more aspects. One is communication. I heard Mr. Sumit Naik speaking and answering a question about communication. It is one thing which is lacking in a very major way. And why is communication important? Why is communication important? Because communication builds trust. Communication makes your intent clear to your team. Communication helps in team building. So communication, I feel, in my understanding, is one thing which will help you with the willing support, help your subordinates understand as to what you're trying to achieve, and then they will come on board and help you achieve that. Next, please. So these are certain things you can look at what communication I am trying to labor on as to one of the most important aspects of developing your leadership skills. So we need to work on communications, make a conscious effort to be able to convey our thoughts clearly, understand the sensitivities of your people or the team whom you're working with, and use this as a tool to influence and impress your subordinates. The next thing is team building. Next, please. Now, team building in the armed forces, I'll give you an example of how it works in the armed forces. We feel that when you share problems, when you go through difficult times, when you are solving a problem and you're finding it difficult, there are challenges en route, that is the time when the team building happens. We in the Indian Army, we celebrate diversity. Though we are in uniform, we do not celebrate uniformity, because we are a country where people come from diverse backgrounds, diverse economic status, diverse religious beliefs and faiths, various states speaking different languages. So we in our uniformed services, we celebrate diversity. We bring together people in a team, and the people may be coming from any part of the country. It doesn't matter. The religion of our troops is our religion. As officers, we celebrate the festivals of our troops. We just finished the celebration of Onam in our Madras Regimental Center. You would be happy to know that the regiments where there are Muslim troops, the officers fast along with their troops during the Rozas. Similarly, in the Gurkha regiment, the officers celebrate Dashera. So what I'm trying to tell you here today is that the religion of our troops is our religion, and we celebrate diversity. I'm repeating this because this is important for all of us to understand. So strong teams are built when they grow through difficult times, when they sit down, they brainstorm, they find solutions to answers. That is when the team building happens. So that is where the leadership also emerges. If you do not have a formally nominated leader, when tough times come, the leaders emerge. Next. So what is the responsibility of Gen Z? So Gen Z's responsibility towards nation building is not to wait for your time to come. Your time has come. Your time is here. You are in the time when you have to take ownership. You are in the time, you are in the generation, you are in the living in a generation where you need to take ownership, take responsibility, assume leadership role, and contribute towards societal changes, contribute towards new things to be brought in, shake out the older systems, and bring in change and help the society to evolve. You are the ones who are to inherit the institutions which have been created over years. Next, please. So the baton is with you. The responsibility is with you. Like I said, you don't have to wait for the opportune time. This is the opportune time. Don't wait for a formal role to come to you to be a leader of a particular organization. You need to take leadership role and take things to closure. The beliefs that you feel are going to make the change, you need to be the harbinger of change yourself. Next, please. Now I'll speak to you about the Madras Regimental Center. The Madras Regiment is the oldest and the finest regiment. I joined the regiment in the year 1995, and like you see, we have 268 years of proud history. We take forward the legacy of the martial traditions of South India, the Cholas and the Pallavas. We have our troops coming from the 5 states of South India: Andhra, Telangana, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, and Kerala. We also have troops who come from Goa, Daman and Diu, Lakshadweep, Andamans, and the all smaller union territories which are there in South India. Next, please. Here is a small video. Can you play the video, please? Okay, fine, no issues. So this is a small video I had about making of the Madras soldier or a Tambi soldier. So show or give you a glimpse about how the soldiers are trained at the Madras Regimental Center and how do they convert from a complete civilian to a complete uniformed person. Next, please. Okay. The motto of the regiment is Swadharme Nidhanam Shreya. So this motto has been taken from the Gita, chapter 3, and it means that it's glory to die doing own duty. So this is a motto that we follow to the T, and our soldiers over the years have made several sacrifices, gone beyond their call of duty and made the supreme sacrifice. Next, please. Going back to the history of the Madras Regiment, so we were raised as part of the British Army. This is something we do not talk about much, but yes, we cannot discount this part of our history as well. See the Battle of Seringapatam and the Battle of Asai. I'm not taking too much time on this. If you have time and you have an inclination, you can read upon them. And as part of the British Army, the Madras soldiers or the Tambi soldier, they made their mark, they proved their mettle in hard-fought battles. Next, please. In the World War I and II, the Indian Armed Forces and the Madras Regiment were deployed to far-off, far-flung places in Mesopotamia, Northern Africa, Burma, also parts of Europe. So this is again part of history, but this again was part of the British Indian Army that we were fighting various battles, and we garnered several battle honors and theater honors as part of the British Army. Next, please. Now coming to the post-independence role of the Madras Regiment. All operations, all wars that we fought after the independence, the Madras Regiment units, regular units, have participated in them and have given a good account of their gallantry. So here you see there are certain pictures of the 1947-48 J&K operations, also the Chinese aggression of 1962, the 1965 Indo-Pak War, wherein the Indian Army and the Madras Regiment participated in this wars both on the Western Front as well as the Eastern Front. And 1971, the most glorious war that Indian Army has fought. Next, please. So today we have 21 regular battalions, 3 territorial army battalions, one of them is stationed in Coimbatore, 4 Rashtriya Rifles battalions, 2 task forces and 1 Bhairav battalion. So this is of little interest to you. These are numbers, but I want to also tell you that the Indian Army has taken part in United peacekeeping exercises, and also we have 10 battalions who have served in Siachen Glacier. So 10 of Madras Regiment battalions have taken part in the Siachen Glacier. They have been part of the IPKF operations, wherein 8 battalions of Madras Regiment took part in Sri Lankan operations in Off Pawan. Coming to the barracks, 1853 the construction started, 1860 the construction completed, and like I was telling the founder chairman, it's a complete limestone construction, not a brick and mortar construction. And this was home to several of the British, Scottish, Irish regiments, today home to the Madras Regimental Center, and the soldiers of the Madras Regiment are trained here today. Next, please. This is the War Memorial. I invite you all to visit the Madras Regimental Center, the War Memorial, and the museum that we have. We can organize a formal visit of all of you coming. I invite also the parents who are sitting behind to be part of these visits. It is a revelation as to how great our martial traditions of South India are, and how our soldiers of the Madras Regiment has given us reasons to hold our heads high. Next, please. This is the War Museum. This is a repository of a large number of old weapons, the awards that you have garnered over a period of time, and many other artifacts which will be of interest. Next, please. So various corners that we have in this museum. Next, please. The other places of interest near this museum and the Madras Regimental Center barracks are the Sri Murugan Temple, we have the Garrison Church, and also the Wellington Lake. So if you come visit us, we will package it all together for you to have visited all these places in one day's time. Next, please. This is an archival center that we have created, and we invite scholars, children who are interested in studying about defense studies. They want to read about the martial traditions of Indian Army, martial traditions of South India specifically, as well as the history of the Madras Regiment. We welcome you to carry out research. We will provide you all support and facilitate the research. Next, please. So I had one more video, but I think it is okay. Now coming to the last part of my talk is the opportunities to join the armed forces. Next, please. Okay. So I invite you all to give a thought of joining the armed forces as an officer. You all have the qualification, you all have the potential. So what is required is the thought that yes, I think I can make a mark. Yes, I think I want to be part of this honored profession. I want to achieve that charm which is attached to the uniform. So if you have that thought, you're most welcome. We will help and guide you as to how you can choose this as a profession. I was told that 4 to 5 students of your alumni of your college have already joined the armed forces through OTA Gaya. Some have cleared the SSB interviews. So I'm sure you have it in you to look at this as an opportunity to serve the nation. Next, please. So 1895 was when the armed forces were put together. The Indian Army was put together under the British Army, British Indian Army. And today, the Indian Army is just not fighting the war as many of us think in the trenches. Indian Army is absorbing technology. Indian Army is fighting the same battle that you're fighting because technology is changing on an everyday basis. We acquire equipments and then the equipment becomes obsolete in no time. So we are not only absorbing technology, we are making it part of our training and doctrine, and we are future ready. We are preparing for the next war. So when you visit the Madras Regiment, we'll also show you how technology has been a great enabler and a force multiplier towards winning future wars. Next, please. So this is what the Indian Army is. They are masters of extreme terrain from second, third stage high altitude in eastern Ladakh and Arunachal, the Siachen Glacier, the deserts of the west, riverine terrain to the high mountains and jungles of east. So it is everywhere that the Indian Army is deployed. So how does the 1.46 billion population sleep in peace? It is because that 1.2 million armed forces, they do not sleep in the night, and they are the sentinels at our borders, guarding and awake in the night so that you can sleep in peace. Next, please. Operation Sindoor is the latest operation that the Indian Army has undertaken. 9 terrorist camps were destroyed. Several of the Pakistani air bases were damaged, they were destroyed to an extent, and mind you, go back please, this was just a 25 minutes window. It was just a 25 minutes window when all these happened. And the most important lesson drawn from this particular war was that all 3 services, the Air Force, Army and Navy, came together, and as a fist, it hit the enemy so hard that it didn't know how to respond. So it was a fast operation, very swiftly undertaken with great coordination and support from each arm and services. Next, please. So how it is to be joining the armed forces as an officer? So there's a great amount of discipline required when you join the armed forces. This is one word probably everyone will speak about when you join the uniformed forces. So yes, the soldier obeys, but he obeys better if your leadership quality is of very high nature. So you must understand how the armed forces ethos are, how we operate, what motivates us to fight a battle and make that ultimate sacrifice. It doesn't matter whoever is the leadership at the national level is. We fight for our own organization, we fight for the nation, and whoever is the leadership, it doesn't actually matter to us because we are fighting for certain ethics, certain ethos. Next, please. So the armed forces career, if you are even thinking of it, it is far more than a paycheck. It is much more than this. Next, please. Okay. Next. Keep going, please. Next. Yeah. Next. So these are things I'm not going to labor on. I'm not here to sell the profession. So if you think it is good, it is important, it is something which merits your attention, you can pay attention to this. And in the question answer session, I would be happy to take on any questions on this thing. Next, please. Ways to get into the armed forces. NDA and the TES. This is immediately after 12th, but since you all have made a choice of joining the engineering college, you have passed this, so I'll go to the next slide. Okay, so these are the other ways of joining the armed forces. So here again, I'll not take too much time. If you individually are interested, we can talk about this more, or I can probably depute an officer to come here and speak to you again on another day. Next, please. Okay, so these are certain entry types, the various commissions that you can get if you want to join the armed forces. Next, please. Yeah, this is targeted toward all the girls, ladies who are sitting here. So in the armed forces, we are not talking about gender equality anymore. We are talking about gender neutrality. We want the girls to come in. The National Defense Academy, which didn't have girls all these years, now have girls who have come there, successfully completed their training, and have got commissioned in the month of June. The first batch has passed out in the month of June. So there are no bastions which have been left as far as the women power is concerned. So the girls are coming into the army in a big way. And I can tell you the competition in getting into the armed forces for the girls is much tougher because the vacancies are lesser than the boys. And the quality of candidates that we get who want to join the army as girls is very, very high. So the girls are very, very motivated, and the candidates who come to us for selection are, their quality of, or their motivation levels are of very high grade. Next, please. But is it really for me? It's up to you to decide. So if anyone comes to me asking, sir, should I join the armed forces, or I want to join the armed forces? So I ask him or her, how strong is the desire? Is it a burning desire? If it is not, then just leave it. It is not meant for you. So if you think, if you have a very strong desire, you make this option or take this option and follow it with complete passion. The armed forces service is a passion. You have to live the passion. If you think you're passionate enough, if you think that you are motivated enough, only then you should go for it. Otherwise, any other field is as good. Next. Okay. So earning stars or earning this uniform has its own merits. You will get respect from everyone. So you need to think if you wish to get into these armed forces services, we can help you achieve that. Next, please. Okay, choosing the right services. Again, you want to go join the Air Force, Army, or Navy. It's another choice after you've decided that you want to join. This again can be, we can help you out in choosing as to what will be the best profession for you. Next, please. Okay, one question which comes up time and again is, what qualities do I require to join the armed forces? Next, please. So there is a services selection board. They have a high rejection rate. They take in young boys and girls based on certain leadership qualities, certain characters, certain qualities that we are looking at. I am again not taking too much time on these things, but certain things which definitely require attention is an early start with discipline, focus on academic excellence. You need to be a thinking person. We are not looking at supremely intelligent people. We are looking at above average people as far as academics are concerned, but you need to be inquisitive. That goes for any profession that you choose. Today's generation has got access to social media 24/7. They have access to a whole lot of information that is available. So the challenge with your generation, which was not there with my generation, was that you have a humongous access to data. You need to sift through what is relevant to you, what is going to make some good to you. That's not easy. I fully understand, fully appreciate that challenge. So you need to be clear as to what data are you consuming, what is relevant to you, and what is a waste of time. And you need to be more inquisitive. The bane about this availability and access to data is you can develop a domain expertise. Can someone tell me how long has been the Russia-Ukraine war? At least somebody can give me an answer to this question. Any idea? It's been running for many years now. How many years has this war been on now? Yeah, 4 years and 5 months' time. Please sit down. Good attempt. So it is running for so many years now. How long has been the America-Iran war on? 6 months. It's already 6 months. We don't come to know. We are just seeing it on the news every day. So you need to scratch the surface. You need to look at things. If you feel there is a war going on somewhere far away, Russia, Ukraine, it doesn't affect you or me. You are living in a fool's paradise. Anything happens anywhere in the world in this era of globalization affects you. The sugar prices have gone up in the market. What are the reasons? You need to think. Ethanol blending in the fuel that is being provided at the petrol pumps today. The requirement of maize to be given for ethanol production. How does it affect the poultry? So there are so many things, they're all interrelated. And you need to be interested, you need to be inquisitive, you need to be asking many more questions to find out as to how the world is going, not be happy with just what is being fed through InShots or the news snippets which come. So you should be knowing much more. Next, please. Okay, these are certain officer-like qualities. Won't again labor on this more. Next, please. Okay, so there are certain things that you need to work on as far as developing your personality or persona is concerned. The gravitas of your personality is built by the knowledge base that you have. Knowledge is something which is going to be respected anywhere you go, any profession that you choose. So these are things are not only relevant for the armed forces, for any field, any profession that you choose to go into. Next, please. So the key takeaways, again, you need to take a conscious decision as to is this the field made for you, and take the next step. Next. So here I finish my talk. Have I taken more time? Okay. So if you have any questions and answers, I am ready to take them on now. Yeah, thank you so much. No questions?
Students, those who are interested in asking questions, please ask them.
Don't worry, I'm not a very scary person. My pet is often not scared of me. Yeah, please go ahead. Okay, fine. Thank you. I think there are no questions. So all the very best to you all, and wish you good luck, Godspeed, and may you achieve what you are destined to achieve. I once again reiterate on the advice, on the invite that I throw open to all of you. We would love to have you all over at the Madras Regimental Center, give you a glimpse of what the Armed Forces life is, how we are absorbing, taking in technology, and what does it mean to be part of the Armed Forces. Thank you so much once again, and my gratitude to the complete management committee for giving me this opportunity today to come and speak to you all. Thank you so much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your valuable insights with us. I now request you to honor our CEO. I now request our esteemed chief guest, Brigadier Krishnendu Das, sir, to honor our CEO, Dr. Mohandas Gandhi, sir. Our principal, Dr. Ramasamy, sir. Our principal, Dr. Ramasamy, sir. Our vice principal, Dr. Maithili, ma'am. Following by our Dean, SOC, Dr. Vimal, sir. Our Dean, Academics, Dr. Gauri Shankar, sir. Our Dean, IQAC, Dr. Yamuna, ma'am. Our Dean, Bioscience, Dr. Jackson Daniel, sir. Thank you, respected dignitaries. Dr. Devi Priya ma'am, Director, Freshman Development and Global Engagement. Thank you, respected dignitaries.
Gratitude is the gracious acknowledgement of the support and presence that makes every occasion meaningful. As we come towards the conclusion of this memorable inauguration ceremony, it is time to acknowledge and thank everyone who made this occasion special. It is my privilege to invite our respected Vice Principal, Dr. R. Maithili ma'am, to propose the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon to everyone. It's my privilege and honor to propose the vote of thanks on this special occasion of the first year orientation program, batch of 26 to 30 at KIT. At the outset, I extend our heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed chief guest, Mr. Sumit Naik, Associate Vice President, Talent Acquisition, Cognizant, for being with us today and for sharing his invaluable insights and inspiring thoughts with our young students. Your presence has truly added value and significance to this occasion. Thank you, sir. We are equally honored to have with us our distinguished chief guest, Brigadier Krishnandu Das, Commandant, the Madras Regimental Center, Wellington. Sir, thank you for your inspiring presence and for motivating our students with your experience, leadership, and words of wisdom. Thank you, sir. I express my sincere gratitude to our respected founder chairman, Thiru N. Pongalur Palanisamy sir, and our beloved vice chairperson, Mrs. Indu Murugesan ma'am, for their constant guidance, encouragement, and visionary leadership. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. My sincere thanks to our industry advisor, CEO, principal, directors, deans, HODs, faculty members, and student volunteers for their tireless efforts in making this orientation program a meaningful beginning for our new students. On behalf of our institution, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to all the parents for placing your trust and confidence in us and choosing our institution. We truly value the faith you have shown in us. We assure you that your children will be nurtured with quality education, guidance, discipline, opportunities, and care, helping them grow into confident and successful professionals. Thank you, parents. And now, the stars of today's celebration. Our dearest first-year students, a very warm and energetic welcome to the KIT family. Step in with dreams, walk ahead with confidence, and make your mark at KIT. Thank you for choosing KIT. Finally, I thank everyone who has contributed to the successful conduct of this program. Once again, thank you all for being part of this memorable occasion. Thank you. Have a wonderful and inspiring journey at KIT. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for expressing the heartfelt gratitude. Now, as we conclude this celebration, let us come together in pride and unity as citizens of a nation. May I request everyone to kindly rise for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे रहे।
Thank you.